Liz, Everett Krisberg is here. And the good thing, you're bringing us new data, I'm told, instead of like last month's.
No,
that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Just to make it clear, this is new data. Bank of America Institute reporting consumer spending rose again in July. The consumer is sort of okay, up 1.8%. Is that good year over year?
I'd say it's more than sort of okay.
It's really sort of okay.
Well, it's sort of okay. So consumer spending year over year up 1.8%. If we were to do seasonal adjustments, it's up 0.6, which is, combine that with what it was up in June, you are more than offset what we saw, the declines in April and May. So really positive spending from both retail and services. But what you're going to remember I told you last month was services spending had declined in June for 3 months in a row. First time that had happened since 2008. So we were really looking to see what was happening with services. Up 0.9. So not just rebound, but well more than offset.
Okay. Are these numbers, you know,
they're
different?
New.
No, I know they're new, but you know who might have previewed a little bit of this? Brian Moynihan. Did he?
Brian Moynihan previewed a little bit of this in his conversation with you, but I would point out there's a slight difference between the numbers that Brian reports and that I do. It's the same set of data.
Okay.
But Brian will tell you what spending is doing overall with the bank. We look at it on a per household basis so that you're seeing apples to apples. You're not necessarily picking up when Bank of America has market share gains.
How do you square these spending numbers with what we're seeing in the employment picture, for example, or CPI? Because sometimes your numbers look positive. Other numbers look negative.
Sure. So our numbers are positive. In July, what we saw was growth in services, growth in retail. But if we look at retail, the data within retail, there is some signs for us to remain cautious. What do I mean by that? The growth in retail was tempered a bit. It was only up 0.2 relative to 0.4 in June, so coming down a bit. And, you know, Ed, speaking of previewing, Steve Leisman previewed this yesterday.
Right.
One of the things to think about is some of the things that were driving retail spending last month were temporary phenomena. Online promotions. And look at Prime Day. Prime Day was 4 days instead of 2 the year before, right? So that's an issue. Back to school had a slow start in June. It picked back up in July. And then there's tariffs, right? It was very widely known that August was going to be the trade deadline. So did consumers buy ahead of tariffs, do some buy ahead in July in anticipation of tariffs?
Oh, we just got a new 90-day reprieve from China.
We did. So maybe what we're seeing, what we saw in July, was similar to what we saw in March with some tariff buy ahead. Maybe we'll see that in 90 days. TBD. I'll come back.
What about inflation?
So inflation, great question, and we'll see, you know, later
Thanks
this
for the
morning.
great question. All I said was the word inflation, so I feel very good about mine.
Great statement that was implying a question. Here's what I would tell you in our data. We don't look at the basket size. We don't have that level of detail. But what I can tell you is that the growth in retail spending was greater than the growth in transactions. So by definition, that's implying things are costing more.
4.2% unemployment is, I mean,
It's still Goldilocks. It's still Alice in Wonderland.
Let's talk about that. Yeah. One of the things we can look in our data is how many households are getting unemployment, new households getting unemployment income. That's growing 10% for higher and middle income households, only 4% for lower income households. But wages are still going up. Wages are still going up for everybody. They're accelerating for higher income. They're accelerating for middle income. Lower income wages, though, they're still increasing. They're up 1.3%, but that is the lowest level, or tied for the lowest level, going back to 2017. So the gap between lower and higher income households is widening. And we see that on the spending, too.
Right.
Lower income spending was flat. Higher income spending is what was really driving the gains.
So you'll correct Brian Moynihan on the way he talks about
on national television.
No, I
on international television.
I would just say what he said.
He and I talk about this all the time. And
will differ with him on.
No, we're talking from the same. We're singing from the same book. I'm just singing the alto line, and you know he's just different.
Okay, just telling you, if you gotta
same data,
you gotta err one way or the other. I would say he's probably pretty good at this.
He is very good at it. He's the one who started the institute, so very good at it.